Welcome to The Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. Let me tell you something. It's hot up in the north. If you're in the tri-state area, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, Philly, it is hot. Hot meaning it's humid. Very, very humid. Well, it's Memorial Weekend, and I just wanted to check in with you guys to see how you're doing. I got a lot of feedback from the self-sabotage episode, which I'm so grateful that you guys have listened to this episode and loved it. I appreciate the love on it. And one thing I wanted to let you guys know is that I have hit the 60,000 mark of downloads. Like, there have been 60,000 downloads of my podcast. I am thrilled. Thank you so much for that. That is amazing. Man, when I started this podcast years ago, and I'm talking 60,000 downloads since I've been on I gotta say Anchor, which is now Spotify. So I am on Podcasters on Spotify. That is the parent. Spotify is the parent company of Podcasters. So, and it's like a subsidiary where people do their podcasts. If people didn't know, Anchor FM was previously the platform that I was on. Before that, it was, I think, Blog Talk Radio is where I originally started out. But when everything moved over to Anchor FM, it just started, like, my podcast just started exploding. It was just doing so well and being well received and heard and all that sort of stuff. So thank you guys so much for that. It has been a whirlwind. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys. We're coming up on the end of the month. We've still got a few days left of May. Can you believe it? It's about to be June very soon, in a few days. And I just wanted to give encouragement to people. We are almost halfway through the year. And I know that people tend to fall off the wayside just within the first, I was going to say semester, within the first quarter of the year, that January, February, March, people really start falling out towards the end of the first quarter, and they really start dropping off in the second quarter. But I really want to encourage you, you're in the second quarter now, and, stick with it. Whatever you have going on for your business, whatever you have going on that's positive, within the business world, in relationships, whatever it is, keep the positive thing going. If you feel or have an underlying feeling that, something is just not right with the situation, whether it's your job situation, whether it is your relationship, no matter how gleaming it looks on the outside or the way you're presenting it, because the way people present things on social media, like everything's fine, and behind the scenes could be disaster. Whatever is happening, you can always start again. You can always reevaluate where you are, and you can always do better. There's nothing wrong with going back to finding your roots, going back to where your success began and building again from there. People are always afraid to circle back because, I'm looking forward, I'm not looking back. It's not about looking back. It's about remembering where you came from, whether it's in business, whether it's in personal, and really understand your roots. Because once you understand your roots and you understand your anchor, you will be able to accomplish anything that you want to do. But what happens is that people get a little money or they get a little fame or whatever it is, and they forget their roots. They forget from whence they came. And then chaos ensues, and then they're confused, and they be making all this money, and they can buy whatever they want, and they can do all the things, but their inner happiness is at a zero. So you got to keep buying more stuff. You got to keep drinking more. You got to keep up with all the women. You got to keep I got this guy looking at me. I got that guy looking at me. All this sort of stuff. I got to get high. I got to do all these things because there's an empty piece. So if you're feeling lost, or you're feeling like, I'm at a loss, I'm halfway through the year and I'm not where I thought I was supposed to be, don't worry about that. Get back to your roots. Get back to your center. Get back to your assignment. Get back to your why. And that will lead you back on the proper road where you're supposed to be. I've had to do it several times throughout my life. I've had to do it in business. I've had to do it in personal, even family relationships, all of that. This is life. We're human. We make mistakes. You fall 7, get up 8. I don't know who was the person that came up with that saying, but it happens. And I talked about it in the self-sabotage episode, the episode right before this one. And I talked about how we self-sabotage good things. We self-sabotage because we could be on the brink of success and we're afraid of the success because we're afraid that we may fail. Don't worry about that. Keep moving forward and do what you have to do. We're halfway through the year. Let's get it. If you want to follow me on social media, at Onyx Queen Media. You want to send me an email, hello@onyxqueenmedia.com. Talk to you soon, you guys. Bye.